Shabbat Shalom. Kol halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim HaKakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, even the elders that came before them that taught us truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push your word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful light tabernacle of David. To the Aquath that are listening, learning, being a pillar of rest. To the 144,000 and one-third of the hopeful elect of Israel. I'm the brother / elder. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to you all. Okay, so I'm going to go back. We got to go back a year. Look. And this is my alternative channel, right? Weird. Yeah. It's my alternative channel. I don't know. I guess I'm on my alternative channel making this video right now. So that's the new song, G.A. Ga. The channel that we're on right now is the new song, Ba. Let's see this one. So anyway, yeah, subscribe to that. Damn, I lost myself. Oh, here we are. Where did I go? Slovakia. Here. A year ago, all right, this happened. Alert, F-35 nuclear leak. Huh? So we have to find out who Seymour Hersh is. Why would Nate say this a year ago? What does nuclear leak mean? Bibi tried to drop a nuclear bomb on Iran in payback when Iran launched 300 missiles last year. Remember that? And it's all right here. A year ago. Okay, so we're going to listen to a little bit of this. And yeah, we got to find out who's Seymour. Let's find out who Seymour Hersh is. Let's do this. First, let's go. Let's type this in. Seymour Hersh. Hersh. Is it H-I-R? S-C-A-R. Seymour Hersh is well respected. Reputable. / reputable. Let's see what the... Okay, so let's find out if Seymour Hersh is well respected or reputable. Interview. Look at this. Journalist who blamed U.S. for Nord Stream. He did that first. It's H-E-R. Oh, okay. He's hiding his name is what he's doing. H-E-R. Slock. S-H. Hersh. Hershey. Seymour Hersh is well respected. Let me try that. Slock. Bear with me. Baba Gashaw. Okay. Now, 10 years ago, Bin Laden killing, the truth about it. See, this is the guy. He's the go-to guy. Rejecting Iran nuclear threat, weapons of mass destruction, bombshell. Seymour Hersh, U.S. blowing up Nord Stream. So this guy, this is the guy. You know what? I need to ask a chat GPT. And I can't do it. Let me do it on my, I have to do it on the phone. So I'm going to have to read it to you. So bear with me for a moment while I just do. I'm going to say, is Seymour Hersh considered a reputable source? I'm going to ask chat that. GPT. Is SEYMOUR Hersh, Hersh, an reputable source? Question, right? And let's see what I didn't give it to me. Why did it not? Okay, SEYMOUR. I didn't spell that right. Let's see, select C. Let's see if that works. That doesn't do it either. AI. Let me see. Come on, AI, where you at? See, when it don't want to come on, it don't come on. AI. There we go. This is what AI says, all right? Salakia, bear with me. It says, AI overview. SEYMOUR Hersh is a highly controversial figure. Ooh. They must have asked this before because they're ready. Look. While he is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist with a long history of impactful investigative reporting, including exposing the My Lai massacre, and the Abu Ghraib prison abuse, some of his more recent work, particularly his reporting on the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage, right, which we know to be true now, has been met with significant criticism and skepticism. And then it goes, here's a more detailed look. Arguments for Hersh's credibility. A long and distinguished career. Hersh has broken major stories for decades, earning him a Pulitzer Prize and the respect of many in the journalism field, according to Reuters. See, now back in the day when you know things were real, all right, he comes from that era. And then we're in the era of fake news. So where does this guy fit in? You understand? They have to explain him away. Kind of like the prophets. He's an old school prophet of doom for the left hand side. And they don't need it. They don't need it. This nigga don't know how to lie. You understand? He don't understand newspeak. He don't understand millennials. These motherfuckers that hop on. See, this guy, shouldn't this guy be a Secretary of State? What is it? Secretary of Defense. Who is the Secretary of Defense? It's a talking head. Now, SEYMOUR Hersh is not a talking head, but he deals with, what, media, right? Well, who the fuck is this guy? Pete Hegseth. And why was he appointed? Right? Because he was supposedly in the National Guard? Come on. The hell is going on? But because he's an actor. This guy is not an actor. Is that Hersh? Anyway, I could do more on... in conclusion, SEYMOUR Hersh is a complex figure. His past accomplishments as an investigative journalist are undeniable. And now they have to fucking, like they did Michael Jackson, this nigga. You got to put him on Oprah, right? Talking about Mike was doing something that they are doing to this fucking day, right? The hell do you think O.J. Simpson? Was O.J. Simpson about trafficking at any level? Or trafficking wasn't going on through Brentwood? All them actors. Who didn't have a SAG card? Right? SAG. Look that up. Who on the OJ trial? Everybody. Lance Ito, SAG. Denise Brown, SAG. Okay? Everybody had their SAG card. What does that mean? Okay? Look into that. Everybody in the O.J. Simpson case had their SAG. They were all actors in L.A. acting, motherfucker. What do you not understand? Uh, but his more recent work has been plagued by but his more recent work, let me read that again. Seymour Hersh is a complex figure. His past accomplishments as an investigative journalist are undeniable. So they gave him credit for his work, and now they're about to destroy it. But his more recent work has been plagued by controversy and questions about his methods and sourcing, says Wikipedia. Really? It's important to approach his work with a critical eye, considering both his past successes and the concerns raised about his more recent reporting. That's what it says in conclusion. Let's get a scripture. Salakia. Let's get this real quick. Let's go to see what they're doing is they're saying, don't listen, don't look any further into his work. Look no further. There's nothing to see over here. Right? Let's go to 5. Let's see. We're trained up. The men of the Lord, we're trained up for this right here. All right. Sirach 5 and 15, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. So Salakia, for going so long without getting to the meat of the matter. But let's take a look at this. If I can find it. Israeli attack. Let's take a look at what Nate is going to say about what went on last year. Okay? If you don't know, see, is it regime change? What happened was this same activity was going on. Israel, the Israelis, did something to Iran, hit them or something, and then Iran had to respond, so they responded, and nobody was ready for what happened. They shot 300 missiles, and it fucked some shit up, and it fucked up Israel so bad that immediately, Bibi Netanyahu ordered a nuclear attack. So they strapped a nuke onto an F-35, and Seymour Hersh reports that Russia shot the plane down. What about that story? See? What about that story? Let's read this again before we watch that. Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Answer me this. Is this a great matter or a small? You tell me. Take it away. Nate or whoever.
Is it going to be 2 target drones that got shot down and now we can all go home?
This is a year ago.
Israel is going to respond like Israel responds. So what the story Nate is telling is what he's saying is the real story, the real attack.
What Seymour said.
And what happened. Kind of like a Bay of Pigs kind of situation is what it sounds like. So Nate is going to tell a story about what they say really happening. And it involves nuclear weapons. It involves EMPs. It involves the real World War III and what's really going on. What we're being told and the watered down information that we're getting third hand is just terrible. And we know that that's not, doesn't even resonate as true.
Play the video, dude.
So I'm going to let Nate speak from here. He's going to tell the real story.
Then
he's going to go into
what
Scott Ritter said, what Cy Hersh said, what these different pundits are saying, letting you know that they set these pundits up to keep us confused, right? For this shell game that's being played. So I have a hunch that whatever we're watching right now is a coordinated effort at some sort of wag the dog between all parties.
This is last year.
About the West, the East, the big.
Salakia, this is me today, which is 2025. in the summer. Okay. Crazy how after Trump's letters, right, yesterday, how this is even more true now. Okay.
China, Russia, the United States, Israel, they're all in cahoots right now, but then it's going to spiral. Somebody's going to throw a low blow, and then the free for all, then the haymakers start. So I'm gonna let Nate talk.
Wow.
And I gotta let him speak through the John Ritter part, and then we'll bring it to an end. But this is completely. This is hot off the presses. This is big news.
Smoking
this is
nuke.
Really.
This is a smoking nuke.
This is a scoop, really. If I know what the word scoop.
Met with a lot of resistance from the open source intelligence community. He says, it would be great to know what Hersh hears from his Beltway sources. Here we go. Israel initially chose to respond with extreme force. An F-35 loaded with a nuclear bomb. Yes, an F-35 loaded with a nuclear bomb was sent east over Jordan. The mission caused a high-altitude detonation over Iran that would provoke a surge in the high-capacity power lines, crippling Iran's electrical grid, as well as disabling all electronic devices, an EMP attack. Now, that part is very plausible, okay? It's extremely plausible. Some people are trying to say online that no, the F-35 wouldn't be able to get it up at a high enough altitude. Absolutely it would.
It's extremely plausible. If you understand Bibi Netanyahu, like we, the men of the Lord, have been watching for the last 15 years, you understand what this guy, how he moves and how he...
This is way before that dude started the genocide in everybody's face.
Yeah.
Is it?
Story?
No. I guess he'd been pulling off the genocide last year. When did the genocide start? I guess he was into it at the very least. They were into it by then. It's a lot.
They gave us, we launched a minuscule attack, and it was thwarted. They shut down the drones, and now we're all going to go home. We're going to all let it go. That's bullshit.
Okay, so what I'm saying a year ago is, yeah, whatever they just did in the last 3 days, they did a year ago. Exactly. It's the same show. They're kicking the can down the road. It's the same show. And here's the proof. This is the smoking nuke right here.
It is describing right now about loading up a F-35 with a nuke, and they're going to do something with it. That is Netanyahu. That is the Israelis.
That's right.
That resonates true.
Right.
Okay, not that bullshit that we were given. So is it a report? Is it a rumor? Is it a threat? Is it news? Is it all the above? You don't know what to think at this point, right?
Why did I say that? Because this is War and Rumors of War Tuesday. So let me quickly do that whole spiel. This isn't the war update, but I will take this opportunity to bring out, some scripts. Or one, at the very least. This is Matthew 24:6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things come to pass, but the end is not yet. So what we're looking for is that famous phrase, wars and rumors of war. This is a big-ass rumor of war, is it? Now, what are we going back to? Hey, man, they strapped a fucking nuke on an F-35 and Russia shot it down. Saved World War III or whatever. Maybe, you know what? Russia didn't shoot it down. You know who shot it down? The angels did. That's who shot it. Well, how would Russia shoot it down and not start a nuclear war? See, I remember them saying that. Here's what they're not saying. And I probably figured this out back then too. But the angels had to have shot it down. You know, like they're shooting down missiles out there right now. Right? They must have shot that plane down. The angels must have shot that plane down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem shot. You understand? Anyway, was I bringing anything out? Let me see. Nope. We were just right here. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that out. Okay, what about that nuke?
Let him finish the story, and then I'll explain what happened as far as how the angels are holding back the four winds.
Oh, man.
Because in this case, you would want this to be isolated to a
I was wondering if I equated it with the angels.
region. Because if you put that thing up too high, you're blocking out the entire Middle East. So indeed, an F-35 would be able to put this bomb at the altitude required to do an EMP that would likely just block out the line of sight. That would include in Iran most of their nuclear facilities, their bases, their major cities. It could be mostly limited. I'm not going to say that that they'd have to position it with pinpoint precision to ensure that it didn't affect the surrounding countries. But that is a fair argument right there. If he would have just left it there and he said, well, they decided to call it off at the last minute, I would have believed that, okay? Because we all know what happened the day before with the electronic action messages and the Skymaster exercise, which many people, myself included, viewed as a smokescreen for something bigger that was going on. And recall, 48 hours before this attack, I interviewed Joel Skousen. We didn't release that video until the day after, but it was actually recorded 2 or 3 days before. In that video, Joel Skousen was right. He said that Israel was likely going to do some sort of Pyrrhic attack that would be very low intensity, would send a message, but wasn't escalatory. I propose.
What happened a couple of days ago? Right?
Joel, in that video, I said, but what if they utilize an EMP weapon over Iran? And he said, as much as he doesn't agree with that, it is very plausible, okay? Because this is the only real weapon they have in their arsenal. They can't really use a nuke. For starters, it will be frowned upon in the international community, but if they framed it as an E-bomb, as they've been trying to, and they said that the residual effect was a nuclear detonation and there wasn't any immediate casualties.
What do you think is going to happen next? You see this? Hindsight, right?
Was detonated at such a high enough altitude, minimal fallout, so they could argue that, well, we did this in response, it was the only way we could neutralize the Iranian nuclear program, okay, by using this EMP weapon.
This is a year ago.
Which wouldn't impact surrounding countries, so very plausible. However, he goes on to say, as the Israeli F-35 was leaving Jordanian airspace, it was shot down by the Russian Air Force. Now this...
What? Now, this is the part that I don't believe. Right? Now, suddenly, I don't know if I put it together back then that the angels shot it down. How can the Russians shoot down F-35 that belongs to the Israelis and not start World War III? It doesn't make sense. Right? Oh, they had to stop World War III from it. By starting it? That doesn't make sense. Sorry. Russia shot down Bibi's response to Iran. That's World War III. That doesn't make sense. Let's see what he's going to say. Salak.
Wait a minute.
Wait, did I say that? Salakia.
Wait a minute.
I haven't seen this.
Is this news? Is this a rumor? Is this a threat? What the fuck?
I know what I was doing. Salakia. Salakia. I'm going to make everybody mad. Matthew 24:6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. That's what that is. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. What we normally do is we go in. Okay, and the NIV has rumors. But the NLT has threats. Rumors and threats, right? Threats of wars. Rumors of wars, threats of wars. What else do we have? Down here, we have, you are going to hear the noise of battles close by and the news. Okay, so news. We got rumors, threats, news of battles, right? And reports. Rumors, threats, news, and reports. Back to it. What's he going to say?
They shot down the jet that was carrying the nuke.
No, they didn't.
Okay. Now I know that.
An
Well,
angel.
in order for the nuke to detonate, it has to be da 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 da. It has to be. They shot down a nuke on the runway. This is crazy, right? But it sounds more like the truth than what they tried to tell us. Okay. I'm gonna let it play.
I didn't
And I'll try to explain what I believe is going on in the spirit, okay? Because it's not time yet. In the middle of the Lord, we know that the Quran has to have its day in the sun, and that hasn't happened yet. They're still laying the groundwork for the infrastructure.
Let me say this real quick. I feel real stupid using this video, and I'm uneasy, you know. I'm not proud about that at all. It's hard for me to hear my voice. Let's just put it that way.
So it's taking a little while longer. So we know that this war's got to stretch out. It can't all just happen overnight. So anyway.
Part where everybody's like, come on, Pepe, are you on mushrooms? Are you on LSD? What's going on here? Hence, the publicized version of the Israeli counter-response was such a travesty. In the end, all sides decided not to publicize the real news to de-escalate what could well turn into World War III.
Yeah, look on his face. What he just said was, after the 300 rockets and the bitch slap with the boat, Israel got real mad and said, nigga, go get the nukes. We're doing something. So they loaded up a nuke on a jet. Either they were going to do an EMP or they were going to just drop, right? And they say that something bad was going to happen, so Russia shot down the jet. Now, what are we to believe? I believe it, okay? I believe it. Now, I believe it, and I'll explain why. Let me see if he has anything left to say. Because the look on his face right now. If you understand what we're talking about, okay? We're talking about nuclear weapons.
Right now we're talking about what Satan Yahoo is capable of. Okay? At this point, okay, what is Netanyahu capable of? What is his next move? If he did this, if he ordered an F-35 to go drop a nuke, whether it was an EMP or to kill people and neutralize niggas, okay, if he did that a year ago, he's capable of doing anything right now. You got to understand the magnitude.
Or we're at war, right? We are at war. If what he's saying is true, the world is at war and using nuclear weapons now.
A year ago, nukes were in play a year ago. You understand? And in hindsight, now, I'm like, if this happened at all, it wasn't Russia that shot down a damn thing. Now, could they have? It doesn't make sense that Russia stopped that operation and it didn't start something, right? It was serious and it could have went to nukes. How did they get Bibi to shut down back then? That nigga came back real mad and started killing more Palestinians, maybe. But I think this sounds more like the angels. After we saw with our own eyes, right? Whoever that was, whether it was Iran firing their missiles or whether it was Israel firing their missiles, the Israelis, we saw chariots shutting those missiles down, disarming those missiles. We saw that, right? So why not stopping this plane? Right? That rings more truth than, what could have potentially ignited the shit out of World War III. How does Russia get to shoot down an Israeli plane with a nuke on it and us not be at some sort of war? If this nigga was so determined to get his get back that he sent a nuke, right? If he was that mad, how did they get him that mad and calm his ass down and get him to not strap up another nigga? That nigga was dropping nukes. You understand? If he sent a nuke, that nigga sent a nuke. Whether it got there or not is the point. He launched one. That nigga launched one. Understand? Understand that. Whether it got there or not or what happened, it's not the point. The point is this nigga's launching nukes right now. They had to shoot down a jet that was loaded with a nuke because they were about to use it. Okay? And now that it went awry for whatever reason, now everybody, cooler heads, we were tripping, right? Then they threw out some lame story and everybody's rolling with it right now. But wait a minute, Bibi is still crazy. Right. He's still crazy. So how long before he feels, because this story is getting out. How long ago did that happen? 3 days now? So when the truth gets out and these guys are looking bad, like the bitches that they are, they gonna want to nuke somebody. So, I'm gonna end it right there. Hey, suddenly SEYMOUR, nigga. How about that? Suddenly SEYMOUR Hersh. Let's get this. Suddenly. See how that comes up? Suddenly SEYMOUR. Let's see. SEYMOUR. Suddenly SEYMOUR. Hersh. I know how to spell Hersh now, y'all. Hersh. Suddenly SEYMOUR Hersh. 2 years, 9 years. Okay, so we're back to SEYMOUR. Is he a plant? Is he pushing out things that, right? If he was a plant, right, working as a shill, they wouldn't be trying to discredit his ass, right? Oh, the second part of his career, you got to watch out for what no, that means he's still telling the truth. He used to get paid for telling the truth, and now he's being discredited for telling the truth because he's still telling it. That's what it pretty much looks like. We're going to end with SEYMOUR. Suddenly SEYMOUR. Which one? I'm going to use. Boom. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Gotcha. With that, we hope that the elector edified. Salakia for rambling, but let's keep our eye on this, all right? We can't forget about, things that were written before time, if you will. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.